Welcome back to the deep dive. So, if you're listening, chances are you felt that frustration, right? Stubborn, belly fat. You count the calories, maybe try all the latest restrictive diets, spend hours in the gym, and yet you hit that wall, that plateau. It's maddening. And it's easy to blame, well, yourself. Lack of willpower, maybe genetics.
But what's really interesting looking at the science we dug into is that maybe we need to look deeper than just, diet and exercise for the actual root cause. The science is shifting quite rapidly, actually. It's pointing pretty squarely at your internal ecosystem, that stubborn fat. It might not be about effort at all. It could be a signal that a really critical system inside you is, well, out of balance.
Okay, let's dive into that internal world then. You're talking about the gut microbiome.
Exactly, that huge community, really, of trillions of bacteria living inside you.
Trillions. It's hard to even picture that scale.
It is. And this population, these microscopic residents, they hold an incredible amount of power. They're kind of deciding whether your body uses food for energy right away or if it prioritizes storing it as fat.
Especially around the midsection, which is what frustrates so many people.
Precisely. So our mission today is to really cut through the confusion and do a deep dive on this gut-fat connection. We need to understand the specifics, like the actual biochemical reasons why an imbalance, what scientists call dysbiosis, causes weight gain.
Okay.
And then look at how certain approaches, specifically we look at the Sumatra Slim Belly Tonic formulation from our sources, aim to fix that, to restore gut harmony.
So we're going right to the control center for metabolism, essentially.
That's the idea. Let's get to the core system.
Okay, the scale you mentioned, over 100 trillion microbes. That's just mind-boggling. These aren't just passive bystanders, then. They're actively involved in digestion.
Absolutely crucial for digestion, nutrient absorption, and really key for this discussion, regulating the hormones that manage your appetite and decide how much fat gets stored.
Right. And when that system goes wrong, that's gut dysbiosis.
That's the term, yes. It's this critical imbalance where the, let's call them harmful or fat-promoting bacteria, start to outnumber the beneficial ones. When that internal community shifts, your metabolism basically stops working for you.
It starts working against you.
In a way, yes. It kind of flips a switch and starts actively promoting fat gain, even if you're really careful with calories.
Wow. Okay, this is where it gets specific. The sources laid out 4 ways, right? 4 specific mechanisms for how an unhealthy gut promotes weight gain, especially that belly fat.
Yes, 4 key pathways, and it goes way beyond just feeling a bit bloated. It's like systemic sabotage almost.
Let's break them down. What's the first one?
The first is maybe the most shocking. It's literally increased caloric extraction and fat storage. Certain unhealthy bacteria are just incredibly efficient. They have enzymes that can break down things like complex carbs and fibers that your body normally wouldn't absorb calories from.
Wait, so things that should be 0 calorie, like certain fibers, these bacteria turn them into absorbable energy.
Exactly. They break them down into short-chain fatty acids, which your body can absorb as calories.
So without changing your diet at all, a bad gut balance could mean you're absorbing, what, potentially hundreds more calories every day.
It's a huge hidden variable, yes.
Yeah.
And then the gut signals influence where those extra calories get stored.
And let me guess, the belly.
Often, yes. That seems to be a preferred storage spot influenced by these signals, which leads right into the second mechanism, chronic inflammation.
Okay, inflammation. We hear that word a lot. How does it connect here?
Dysbiosis irritates the gut lining. It causes inflammation there, sometimes called leaky gut.
Leaky gut. Sounds unpleasant.
It is. And that local inflammation doesn't stay local. It releases inflammatory messengers, chemicals, into your bloodstream.
And what do those chemicals do once they're circulating?
They do a couple bad things. They slow down your overall metabolic rate, how many calories you burn at rest, and crucially, they start messing with your body's weight control systems.
Which involves hormones, I imagine.
Yeah.
That brings us to number 3.
Yes, the third mechanism, hormone disruption. This might be the most significant effect, honestly. An unhealthy, inflamed gut really throws your key appetite hormones out of whack. We're talking ghrelin, the hunger hormone.
You used to want to eat.
Right. And leptin, the hormone that signals fullness, that tells your brain, okay, we've got enough energy.
So what happens to them?
Well, with chronic inflammation, the sources suggest your brain can actually become leptin resistant.
Resistant, meaning the leptin is there, the signal is being sent, but the brain just isn't listening.
That's exactly it. Your fat cells are screaming, "We're full!" by releasing leptin. But the brain doesn't get the message, so the brain thinks the body is starving.
Which would make you feel hungry all the time and crave high-calorie foods.
Relentlessly hungry, powerful cravings, often for sugar and fat. It makes overeating almost biologically unavoidable, no matter how strong your willpower is.
Wow, okay. That's a powerful trio. What's the fourth mechanism?
The fourth one is often the most immediately noticeable: poor digestion and bloating. When you don't have enough good bacteria and maybe not enough digestive enzymes, food just doesn't break down efficiently.
So it just sits there.
It leads to undigested waste buildup, fermentation by the wrong kinds of bacteria, which produces gas.
Ah, the bloating.
Exactly. Gas, water retention, that uncomfortable pressure, the puffy belly feeling. It's a direct result of inefficient digestion.
So if your efforts aren't giving you the results you expect, the science really says, look inside. Look at the gut.
Absolutely. And all this ties together in what's often called the gut fat feedback loop. It's this vicious cycle people get stuck in without even realizing it.
Okay, let's pause on that loop because this sounds like the reason why just cutting calories often doesn't work long term for so many people. Explain that cycle.
Right. It starts with a gut imbalance, the dysbiosis. That leads to a slower metabolism and, like we said, grabbing extra calories from food.
Okay, step one, slow metabolism, more calories absorbed.
Step 2. That slow metabolism means you store more fat persistently.
And more fat storage. Got it.
Step 3. That extra body fat itself creates low-grade chronic inflammation throughout your body. Fat tissue isn't just passive storage. It's metabolically active and releases inflammatory signals.
So the fat itself adds to the inflammation problem started in the gut.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. Step 4. That systemic inflammation feeds back and causes even more gut imbalance. It worsens the dysbiosis, and it makes that leptin resistance in the brain even worse, too.
Oh, wow. So it's a closed loop. Bad gut, slow metabolism, fat storage, more inflammation, even worse gut, even worse leptin resistance, more hunger. It just keeps going.
It's a self-perpetuating system working directly against your weight loss efforts. You're fighting against your own biology at that point.
No wonder it feels impossible sometimes. You're cutting calories, but your gut's taking in more, your brain thinks you're starving, and the whole system is set to store fat.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
So breaking that loop isn't about just trying harder with diet or exercise. Our research suggests you need a specific gut restoration plan. You have to address the root cause, the ecology itself.
Fix the environment first.
If the core problem is the imbalance, the solution has to be about restoring that balance, not just a temporary fix, but a real restoration.
Okay, so based on those four mechanisms, the calorie extraction, inflammation, hormone disruption, poor digestion, what would a successful gut-focused approach need to actually do? What components are essential?
Well, it really needs a multi-pronged strategy. Looking at the analysis, it needs to do 5 key things. 1, feed the good bacteria. 2, help you digest food better. 3, calm down that inflammation. 4, help rebalance the hunger hormones. And 5, support your resting metabolism.
Right. And this is where the sources bring in the specific example, the Sumatra's Slim Belly Tonic. It's framed not as a magic bullet, but as a blend inspired by traditional nutrients. The goal being to reset the system, right? Shift the body out of that fat storing mode and back into fat burning mode.
Exactly. And the first, most critical function is that it has to restore gut microbiome balance. The blend described uses natural prebiotics and polyphenols. These are important because they're like targeted food.
Food for the good guys.
Precisely. They selectively feed the beneficial bacteria, helping them thrive and multiply, while essentially starving out the harmful, fat-promoting ones. That rebalancing is the foundation. It helps reduce inflammation and improve digestion right away.
Okay, rebalancing first. Then what? You mentioned digestion.
Yes, it also works to boost digestive enzyme activity. Helps your body produce more of its own crucial enzymes to break food down properly.
So fewer undigested calories hanging around to be stored as fat.
That's the goal. And at the same time, it tackles the inflammation directly. It aims to reduce inflammation and toxin buildup, using natural antioxidants like those from turmeric to soothe that irritated gut lining. The aim is less bloating, a calmer digestive system, maybe a flatter feeling midsection fairly quickly.
And the hormones, that leptin resistance.
That's crucial. The blend is designed to help regulate cravings and blood sugar. By improving those gut hormone signals, ghrelin and leptin, it helps normalize your appetite. You get fewer of those wild energy swings that make you crave sugar. Stable blood sugar means more steady, predictable fat burning.
Makes sense. And the final piece, metabolism.
The final piece is supports metabolism and energy. Once the gut is healthier, the whole system just runs more efficiently. The herbs in the blend support liver health, which is key for metabolism, and help the body actually convert stored fat into usable energy. Think L-carnitine, which plays a big role there.
So a more active metabolism, even when you're just sitting around?
That's the ultimate goal, burning more fat even at rest. It's about fixing the underlying machinery.
It sounds like the ingredients chosen are really targeted to hit all 5 of those points synergistically.
Yes, the sources emphasize the synergy. It's presented as an integrated system.
Let's touch on a few key ingredients mentioned. Turmeric root extract comes up a lot. We know it's anti-inflammatory. But what's special about its role here?
Well, yes, it reduces inflammation, vital for healing the gut and potentially improving that leptin sensitivity. But the sources also point out it supports digestive enzyme production. So it's doing 2 jobs, healing the environment and improving the process.
Dual action, okay. And you mentioned prebiotics feeding the good bacteria. The sources highlighted inulin. Is that just basic fiber?
It's a specific type of prebiotic fiber, yes. Think of it like specialized fertilizer, just for the beneficial bacteria, helping them dominate the gut landscape again. Plus, as a soluble fiber, it helps you feel full. That feeling of satiety is really important for managing calorie intake naturally.
Good point. Then there are the metabolism boosters. Green tea extract known for catechins. The sources link this directly to fat oxidation.
Yes, helping the body literally burn stored fat for fuel.
And it seems paired with others, like ginger root and cinnamon bark.
A clever pairing. Ginger is well known for soothing the gut, tackling immediate digestive discomfort. Cinnamon helps regulate blood sugar levels, smoothing out those peaks and crashes that trigger intense hunger.
Okay, and the last one you mentioned, L-carnitine. I usually associate that with workout supplements. Why is it important for overall gut health and resting metabolism?
L-carnitine is essentially the transport system. Its job is to carry fatty acids from your stored fat into your cell's mitochondria. That's where they get burned for energy.
So it helps unlock the stored fat.
It primes the body to use stored fat more readily, not just during exercise, but for everyday energy needs. It enhances your baseline metabolism. So when you put all these ingredients together, you're tackling the gut balance, the inflammation, the digestion, the hormones, and the fat-burning machinery all at once.
Right. Bringing it back to you, the listener. When this system works, when the microbiome is thriving and that gut fat feedback loop gets broken, what happens? The reported benefits seem holistic, going beyond just weight.
That's really the key takeaway. Yes, the sources report a noticeable reduction in belly fat, which is often the main goal. But people also report experiencing much less bloating and digestive discomfort, just feeling lighter, more comfortable day to day.
And that seems to snowball, right? Better digestion, less inflammation, leads to other improvements.
Definitely. Things like significantly better energy and mood. Remember that the gut-brain connection is strong.
Ah, yes.
And maybe most importantly for long-term success, much improved control over cravings and appetite. That relentless hunger starts to fade.
Which all adds up to steadier, more sustainable weight loss without the misery of crash dieting.
Exactly. It's about creating an internal environment where weight loss can happen more naturally.
Now, for listeners considering this kind of approach, the sources also gave some practical tips, right? To maximize benefits and support gut health generally.
Yes. 5 key steps.
Yeah.
First and foremost, consistency. If you're using a tonic like this, take it daily as directed. That's critical.
Makes sense. What else?
Second, support that new internal environment. Combine it with a fiber-rich diet. Lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains. That's the fuel your good bacteria need.
Feed the good guys. Okay.
Third, stay hydrated. Seems basic, but water is essential for flushing toxins, keeping things moving, and just overall digestive function.
Simple but crucial.
Number 4.
This one's about what not to do. You really need to avoid processed foods as much as possible, especially sugar and artificial additives. They actively work against your beneficial gut flora. They feed the bad guys.
So cut down on the junk. Got it. And the last one.
The last one might be the hardest. Be patient. Healing the gut, rebalancing that complex ecosystem. It takes time. It's not an overnight fix. But the idea is that the benefits, when they come, are designed to be more fundamental and long-lasting.
Right. Patience for sustainable change. Okay, let's tie this all together. The big takeaway from this deep dive seems pretty profound. Modern research is really showing that a balanced microbiome isn't just a nice to have. It's actually essential for managing weight sustainably. Absolutely essential. And approaches like the one exemplified by the Sumatra Slim Belly Tonic and our sources recognize this. They take that holistic view. It's not about directly fighting fat. It's about fixing the system, the underlying gut environment that's causing the excessive fat storage in the first place.
Heal the system, and the metabolism and weight management follow naturally.
That's the principle. By restoring that internal balance, you set the stage for a more efficient metabolism and hopefully a naturally slimmer, healthier you.
So if you've been doing all the right things, dieting, exercising, but that stubborn midsection fat just won't budge, and you're dealing with cravings and maybe digestive issues, the data we looked at strongly suggests the missing piece could very well be your gut health.
It really could be. Your personal transformation journey, it seems, might truly begin deep inside your microbiome, which leads to a final thought for you to consider. What steps, even small ones, can you start taking today to prioritize your gut's balance and health?